EYP is an organization of stories. Stories of teamwork, stories of friendships, stories of cooperation. But these stories have to have a beginning, a story from which everything else comes. This is that story. It begins, as many great tales do, in France. The year was 1987, the place, Lycée François Ier in Fontainebleau. A school project begins there, a project that they called the European Youth Parliament. The following is rarely seen footage of the very moment that project was conceived.
Le petit bois dans la rue, en vacances avec les respirateurs, une baguette, un croissant, c'est ça.
1 year later, they hosted the very first international session, and so the ball began rolling. EYP began to steadily grow, encompassing more countries and more young people, expanding past the borders of the EU and creating opportunities for all of Europe. This growth meant that the EYP had to relocate for the first time. Their new home was Oxfordshire in the UK. We kept going from strength to strength for the next 10 years, increasing the amount of NCs and generally turning into the powerhouse of youth engagement that we are today. All good things come to an end, however, and in 2004, EYP ran into financial problems. The record keeping wasn't what it should have been, and this very nearly caused the death of the organisation. All was not lost, however. A knight in shining armour arrived to save us all in the form of the Schwarzkopf Foundation. With their support, EYP reformed and relocated to Berlin, where the international office still is today. This allowed us to truly flourish, and today, as you watch this video, you are involved with an organisation that includes virtually every European country, hosts over 600 events a year, and involves an incredible 35,000 participants and 3,500 volunteers. But the story of EYP doesn't end here. The history of our organisation is only the beginning. The real stories come from the people within it, the connections they make, and the experiences they gain. There are so many of these stories that it would be impossible to tell them all. But this is just a glimpse of a few.
So it's a bit weird. My school runs a simulation that's not actually EYP, but what we do is we take a week off of our English classes and we run like what EYP is. So the English teacher then assigns students, some as chairs, some as delegates. So because I had had MUN experience, she assigned me as a chair. And it was a proper, like, I would kind of been like a regional even, because you know, we had the team building, and then which was led by our teacher. And then we had committee work and a GA, which was then led by me under her guidance. So that was kind of my first story, my first time at EYP, but then of course being Cypriot, it then started officially with our pre-selection days. So that was in January of 2013, with the school simulation, whereas the pre-selection days were in April of 2013.
My EYP story started actually last month. It was Kharkiv National Selection Conference in Kharkiv, Ukraine. I was in call committee and I loved every minute of this experience.
Well, it was March of 2016. I was my last year of high school, and like I was the kind of person who didn't go even to regular classes, let alone to like something as close to EYP, but my friend was an HO of the regional forum of Sarajevo in 2016. And she was like all the time, Mohammed, you need to go there, you're the kind of person that does well in debate, you'd love it there. And basically she was right, I did love it there, and that's where my EYP story began.
I think EYP gave me a sense of belonging, and not just within an organization, but within Europe, as a EU citizen. So I think that is a major thing it's given me. Of course, sense of belonging because you create relationships. And it's also, I used to be, and I still am a little bit, a very stressy person at times. And I think it's given me patience, it's given me focus, it's given me the idea that, you know, things will go wrong and that's okay, because the way we deal with things makes us stronger. So it's not what happens, and it's how we deal with them. So I think it's also given me that.
The best thing that I think every EYP got are people. That every person changed me in some way. So I'm really glad EYP for every person I've met.
Well, first of all, it gave me more empathy towards other people, because when you're in a committee, high schoolers don't usually approach things that way, but you have to think as a group, you have to validate other people's opinions, and personally a lot more confidence you get, like when you stand up in front of 100 people or whatever, when you say something and when you see that people are affirming your thoughts, it just does a lot of good stuff for your confidence, and basically you get the validation that you can speak up, you can say the stuff that you want to. And
my EYP story started in January 2013 in Cyprus, and now I'm here at Yugosphere'.
My EYP story started in Bosnia in 2016, and now I'm here at Yugosphere'.
My EYP story started in Kharkiv 2017, and now I'm here at Yugosphere'.